You know what? We're going to be spending a whole lot of time right in this area right here, the Adobe Illustrator interface. It has changed slightly since the previous version. So let's take a quick look around the interface and what we can do with it. Now I have a document open. It's not really necessary, but it gives us something to look at. At the top, we have, of course, our pull-down menus. All programs have pull-down menus. The pull-down menus in Illustrator have literally hundreds of things. Now, some items will have shortcuts, which is nice. That makes it easier for you to get to it. And some items have a little triangle, and that triangle means that there are more items underneath that pull-down. Now, most of us know what to do here. I think all of us do. You want something, you come over, you click on it. You don't want it, you come out here somewhere, you click, it goes away. The pull-down menus, quite a few of them in Adobe Illustrator. The next area down right here, this area, number one has buttons to control maximizing and minimizing. This button right here will open Bridge, and it's kind of a nice feature because it allows you to organize your images, but that's what that will do. It will open up Bridge. This one right here, if you have multiple images open, will allow you to organize the images in different ways. So if you're kind of wanting to look at a couple of different images and you want to see them maybe side by side or whatever, you can use that option. Way over here is Workspaces. Now we are in the Essentials workspace. And Essentials, of course, is just essential elements for Adobe Illustrator. But you have things like printing and proofing. And notice it does change what's going on over here. Let's go back to Essentials. You have a search area here. The next line down is Options. Now these options are controlled primarily by what you're doing. If you look at what's up here now, and say I change into my artboard tool over here, watch what happens. Well, what's up there changes to configure or allow me to configure the tool based on the one I'm using. So that will change. Over here, this button will always be there. If you click it, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. Now that's the possible things that can appear on the options bar. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that we never want to see document setup or preferences here. So if we come over here and we click Document, turn it off, they'll be gone. Well, it gives you more room for other things. If we turn it back on, they come back on again. So that's what that area is here. Let's come way over here. Now here's the tools. Lots of different tools. If you click on a tool, it will darken, meaning it's highlighted. It also tells you again the tool down here if you want to look at it. Some tools do have a little triangle over here in the lower right-hand corner, and that means there are more tools underneath if you click and hold. Now here's a cool feature. If you go to the type tool, say, there's a lot of type tools, even a new one called Touch Type down here. If you want to get to these tools, you can use the shortcut. Press the letter T. The letter V takes you, say, for example, to the Move tool, T to the Type tool. Each one has their own shortcut. But if I click and hold on it again, there's a lot of tools underneath here. If I'm using the Type tool a lot and I want to get to these tools, if I click this button right here, see it on the end? It tears out that tool set and allows me to position it somewhere to make it easier for me to get to them. And I can have as many of those torn out as I want to, just a quicker way to get to what you want. Now you want to get rid of that, go ahead and click it right here. Down here we have, and if I was in Photoshop, that would be the foreground and background color. This is the fill color, and that's the stroke color. Objects are composed of fills and or strokes. You have buttons down here to change that into a gradient or to turn it off. You have buttons down here that can help me change how I draw. We'll talk about that when we get into drawing. And this one changes our screen mode, the way we look up here. Finally, over here, of course, you have the panels. Now, the panels are controlled primarily by your workspace. Now, if I change to a different workspace, they will change. But the default in Essentials is that they are collapsed over here. I don't like that. I'm probably old school. I'm happier when I can see them. Now, I am sacrificing space if I do that. But if I click this button right here, it will expand them out for me. And I have less room here. I understand that. But I do like having them open. That's my way of working. Down here at the bottom on the left, you have a new button for syncing. Now, if I click that button, it will ask me if I want to sync. We talked about sync preferences in the previous lesson. So if I click that button, it would perform a sync to the cloud of anything I've changed in things like, well, swatches, whatever I've chosen. So you can click that to sync. This button allows me to change the view size, and it defaults to fit on screen. If we do have more than one artboard, and we will later on, this button allows me to select the artboard. This button again tells me I'm on the Type tool. But if I select here, and go into Show, what I can do is say, I don't want the tool. I know what tool I'm on. Give me the name of my artboard. Give me the current date and time, the number of undos, or even the document color profile. We'll leave it on the default for now. And there you go. That's the basic interface to this program. It can be massaged. It can be changed any way you want it to be to fit your particular personality.